Umuaka, no. Aunty Ifeyinwa is here with another story. How have you been? And how is everything going with you today? Our story is titled Khulu, the Adventurous Crab. Long time ago, when there were no television screens and no digital devices, in the shimmering waters of the great Limpopo River, lived a crab named Khulu. Khulu wasn't like the other crabs. While they scuttled sideways, concerned only with finding the juiciest water reeds, Khulu dreamed of adventure. He longed to see the world beyond the river banks, to learn the secrets whispered by the wind rustling through the tall acacia trees. One day, he overheard two fish, Zip and Zap, arguing about which was the cleverest. Zip boasted of his speed, how he could dart through the water like a silver arrow. Zap bragged of his camouflage, how he could blend into the riverbed like a pebble. Kulu, listening from beneath a lily pad, chuckled softly. Cleverness, he muttered under his breath, is more than just speed or camouflage. He decided to prove it. He approached Zip and Zap, clicking his claws. Click, click, clack, clack. I will race you both to the Whispering Falls, he declared. The first to reach the falls will be declared the cleverest. Zip and Zap scoffed. A crab? Race a fish? You must be joking, Zip laughed. Ha ha ha. We'll be there and back before you even reach the first bend, Zap added. The race began. Zip zipped ahead, a blur of silver. Zap blended seamlessly with the river bottom, gliding almost unseen. Kulu, however, took a different approach. He didn't try to race them in the water. Instead, he watched. He noticed Zip bragging to a passing hippo, showing off his speed. The hippo, annoyed by the boasting, splashed Zip with muddy water, slowing him down considerably. Kulu then observed Zap trying to sneak past a hungry heron, which is a big fish. Confident in his camouflage, Zap thought he was invisible, but the heron, wise to the ways of the river, spotted Zap's subtle movement and snapped at him, barely missing his tail. Kulu, meanwhile, had climbed out of the river and onto the riverbank. He knew a shortcut, a path through the tall grasses used by the water monitor lizards. It was a longer distance, but it avoided the dangers of the river. As Zip and Zap struggled, one covered in mud, the other narrowly escaping a heron, Kulu patiently and steadily made his way along the riverbank path. He reached the Whispering Falls just as the sun began to set, the cascading water shimmering like gold. Zip and Zap arrived much later, exhausted and defeated. They were astonished to see Kulu waiting for them. How? did you get here so fast? Zip stammered. We're much faster swimmers than you, Zap exclaimed. Khulu smiled. I didn't rely on speed or camouflage, he said. I used my wits. I observed, I planned, and I chose the wisest path. Cleverness isn't about being the fastest or the most hidden. It's about thinking, learning, and using your knowledge to overcome challenges. Zip and Zap looked at each other, ashamed. They had learned a valuable lesson from the humble crab. From that day on, they respected Khulu and understood that true cleverness comes from wisdom and careful thought, not just physical abilities. And Khulu, the crab who dreamed of adventure, became known throughout the Limpopo River of Southern Africa as Khulu the Wise. Children, I hope you enjoyed this folk tale and the moral lessons as well attached. You need to think and you need to learn and use the knowledge you have learned to overcome challenges. Speed and camouflage are not always the best in life's journey. You need to be yourself and to take simple lessons that will help you along the way. Till our next video. Udo diri. Peace be with you. Take care, children.